about today is how to create choice in your life. Well, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. What are you doing to create choice in your life? Okay? And so what that really is, I did an amazing seminar probably about 2 weeks ago. It's called Landmark. I'm sure some of you have done it. And if you haven't, you need to really, really look into it. This is my fourth kind of, if you will, I hate to call it a personal growth workshop because it's really a transformational workshop. So it's kind of like as you go through life, there are trees around you and the world and things of that nature. And what Landmark really does in transformational work like this is really it opens your eyes to seeing the world in a different way. So it's kind of like there's that tree that's been on the left side of the road for like 5 years, and for the first 5 years of your life you never really saw that tree, and now you're actually seeing that tree for the first time, and that tree looks completely different to you. And what I'm here to tell you is creating choice in your life is about creating new possibilities. So I had done probably 3 or 4 different workshops like this. Probably, I started the first one probably 10 years ago, probably right around the time I was 26 or 27, okay? Actually, that was longer than that. Yeah, it was probably 11, 12 years ago, thinking about it, because it's my birthday today, so I'm 38 today. And so when I was 26, 27, I did this workshop called Essence of Being in Atlanta, Georgia. And then later on, I did 2 other workshops by a company called Momentum. And each of those different workshops, what it was all about is really removing blocks or blind spots in your life. These are areas of your life that are unresolved. These are areas of your life where, there's a certain story that you've created about those areas of your life. These are like emotional blocks. We call them neuro-emotional complexes in the NET, neuro-emotional technique world, where there's emotional blocks and your mind is constantly being triggered by these blocks. And these blocks limit your ability to have choice in your life, for you to have freedom in your life, okay? And so when we have this conversation, I really, really think it's important, because this is where emotional stress comes from. It comes from these blind spots in our life. It comes from these emotional blocks, these limitations that we're creating in our life. Because our story and the meaning that we add to our life is our story. And at any point in time, you can change that story. So there's a lot of people that make the conscious choice to be a victim. To say, you know what, I had a tough upbringing. My dad hit me. He kicked me downstairs. Right? He did this. He did that. Which that was part of my story growing up. We came from nothing. At one point, we lived in a trailer. We lived in a fifth wheel. Right? Our power went out. And I could have used that very well to feel sorry for myself, to be less than, to have a lack mentality, a lack of abundance, to just really, really remain really low and not reach any goals, not try to attain anything, not try to change the world. And what I found is learning about choice was so pivotal in really moving me forward to say, you know what, I'm not a victim. I don't have to be a victim of my circumstances. I certainly don't have to be a victim of my past. And I can choose right now to live in this moment. Because if you're allowing your past to influence your future and your present, how many years are you going to do that? And what does that even look like? So now you're this person that's maybe 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, and now you're 50, but you're still living from that 8-year-old's mentality, meaning you're still making decisions on the false evidence appearing real and the fear in your life, instead of making choices right now, instead of saying, you know what, I can have anything I want, the universe is abundant, God is abundant, right? It's El Shaddai, the God of abundance, not El Cheapo, right? And I can have anything I want. But I have to choose that right now. I got to lay a stake in the ground today, and I have to say, you know what? I'm not going to be a victim of my circumstances. I'm going to live in the present. I'm going to be open for 1 million possibilities to occur in my life, and I'm going to make that choice right now. Life happens right now. Life is happening right now. You have to choose life now, and every moment you have that opportunity. And so if you haven't done a transformational workshop, I really want to encourage you to do that. There's 1 million out there. The programs that I did were all founded by a guy named Werner Erhard, excuse me, I couldn't say that. Werner Erhard, and Werner Erhard created a program called EST back in the 70s, and really when you talk about transformational work, I mean, unbeknownst, there may be something else that was out there that I don't know about, but Werner Erhard was the first one to really do that. And after EST training came Landmark. And now there's a lot of other programs that have kind of branched off from that, and they're all great, but what I always say is, let's go to the source. Let's go to the source and look at where all this work came from. And it came from Landmark. And it's had such a profound impact on me that I'm going to be doing the advanced course that they offer in March. And I've got Kaden. Kaden is registered, right? We got her registered. Dr. Tanya is registered. And we're going to do as many levels as we can, because you never really stop growing. And that's what I mean. You know, when you talk subluxations and you talk a bucket that's full, you're talking about chemical, physical, emotional, and neurological. You're not just talking about one thing. That's the way health is. That's the way emotional health is. That's the way spiritual health is. And choice kind of goes into all these, doesn't it? Because if we have choice in our emotional health, then you kind of think that's probably going to shift into us having choice related to our physical health, our neurological health, meaning that we don't have to be a victim of that spinal surgery we chose to have or that we didn't have, or we don't have to be a victim of the medications that we're on. We can choose to be empowered right now, take a stand for our emotional and spiritual health, and we can allow that to kind of drift off or sift off into the other areas of our life and related to our health that we need to improve on. So when we talk about choice and we talk about free will related to us taking action on our life, because I see your health and your life as synonymous, we have to have an active role in that. Because whose responsibility is that? And the answer is, it's ours. Okay? So Landmark is here in San Diego. I encourage all of you to look into it. Okay, it's an amazing, amazing program. You know, they're in 20, 40 different countries, some craziness, right? A bunch of different languages. They've already helped 3 million people. So I kind of think if something's been around for 20, 30, 40 years, and they've helped like 3 million people, and they're in multiple languages, and they're all over the world, I kind of think that's probably something you should look into, right? Probably like an amazing thing. I encourage you to do that. There's a book I've talked about in previous videos called Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. You'll see the interconnectedness in that book, Switch on Your Brain, and the work that you'll do with Landmark. And there's nothing original or new on the planet, in my opinion, just different kind of violins playing that we hear in a different way. Meaning sometimes things don't land a certain way with you, and you kind of discount it, or maybe you just you throw it off the radar, you throw it in the toilet, and it doesn't really register with you. And then when you hear it from somebody else, then it kind of lands. When you go and do something like Landmark, and then you start absorbing and getting into books like Switch on Your Brain, you start learning the power of the mind, the thoughts that you say, the choice that you have, and how you do or don't declare that to the universe. Right? And I say the universe for my New Age people. Obviously, I'm a Christian, right? But declaring that to God. So there are things that you declare to God, and most of you do it in prayer, right? And, if you declare that you're going to be impoverished and you're going to be poor and you're not going to have anything, that's probably going to happen, right? Because that's been declared. So we want to declare the positivity, and we want to declare choice. And we have that option, right? Every day we wake up, we have that option to choose choice and choose life. So I hope you got something out of this. God bless you. I definitely want you to look into some of the recommendations that I made related to removing those blocks and blind spots in your life. We've got a great advanced healthcare class coming up Monday, February 12th. It's going to be at 7 o'clock p.m. And what we're going to be talking about in that workshop is spinal degeneration, the causes of when that spinal degeneration happens really quickly, and what causes that spinal degeneration to slow down, okay? I hope to see you there, 760-385-8352. Call if you want to sign up for that. You can bring as many friends and family as you want. It'll be about a 45-minute conversation, and the food usually arrives around 6:30 or 6:45. It is free, and it's always organic. So hope to see you guys here. God bless you. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Take care.